This deck stars the Ping King Kingpin.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. Today I'm playing Ob Nixilis, a D-Sparked Captive Kingpin. This is a card from Marks of the Machine, The Aftermath, and it's all about dealing 1 damage at a time to great effect. This is a 4/3 flying trampler, which is pretty nice in the air, but it grows because whenever your opponent loses exactly 1 life, you end up getting a +1/+1 counter on Ob Nixilis and exiling the top card of your library. It can only be played until the end of your turn, but that's still quite a bit of card advantage and an ever-growing Ob Nixilis that your opponent will have to deal with. So we have a lot of things in this deck that end up dealing 1 damage at a time or making your opponent lose 1 life at a time. And a lot of these are actually part of a sacrifice sub-theme. That's how I decided to build my deck. I'm sure there's lots of different ways, but I really like the idea of getting things dying and dealing exactly 1 damage because we have cards like Blood Artist or Zulaport Cutthroat that make your opponent lose a life when one of your creatures dies. We also have cards that deal 1 when they enter the battlefield, can tap to deal 1 to each player, repeatedly deal 1 damage to each player, like Shadowheart, which is an arena-only card, the Sharran Cleric version at least, or one of my favorites from an old standard, Spawn of Mayhem. Yeah, this is another scary growing demon, by the way, Ob Nixilis also being a demon. In this deck, we are running a few things on the high end, and the most notable one is the combo piece, All Will Be One. I have a standard deck which runs this exact same combo. You should check the video out. But if you don't want to, All Will Be One. You get a +1/+1 counter on Ob Nixilis by dealing 1 damage, which means you get to deal 1 damage off All Will Be One, which means you get another counter, which means another 1 damage, which means another counter, another 1 damage, another counter, another 1 damage, another 1 counter. It keeps on going, and it doesn't matter if you run out of cards in your deck, you can keep hitting your opponent's face and exiling the non-existent cards until you win the game. It does require a click each time, though, so you gotta get your index finger ready. Now, this deck is pretty nice. It comes together well, and I'll say that if you want to make it more oppressive, the best way to do that is to take out some of the sacrifice sub-theme and replace it with Rakdos good stuff. I'm talking about kill spells, exile spells, board wipes, things like that. I am running Blood on the Snow and Meathook Massacre in here. Meathook Massacre especially because it does deal 1 damage at a time. And other spicy cards we've got in here include, I don't know, Galia, because whenever you exile a card, she gets bigger too. It's really, really nice. And, of course, Prosper. I know very often I'll make the joke that blank is good in Prosper. First of all, Ob Nixilis, Captive Kingpin, is good in Prosper. But also, Prosper's good in Ob Nixilis because when you cast those spells from exile, you get treasure, so you can cast more things from exile, burn, and of course, this is spicy, 1 power. That means Prosper's dealing 1 damage at a time, which again triggers Ob Nixilis, Captive Kingpin. A really fun deck to pull together. I hope you enjoy it as we take it into the queue and we deal 1 damage. Only 1 damage. 1 damage at a time, but we'll do it 25 times or more till we get what we want. Samut. Voice of Dissent. This Samut goes fast and makes other things go fast. She's also got haste, so she can surprise you by just popping up on the battlefield at some random time. Hello, Samut, Voice of Dissent. Do you gotta go fast? I feel like she does. We're gonna go ahead and play Spike-tailed Cave because I need to have mana. Even though I really want to play my Spear Spewer and start spewing, I'm willing to wait. Here it is, the Spear Spewer. 1 damage to each player when I tap it because it's funnier that way. Don't waste time aiming, you lazy globsug. Fire! Thank you, Krenko, for giving us this very good instruction. And thank you, Black Market Connection, for just letting me pay 6 life at a time because it's fun, funny, free, and great. Okay, it's not so free. I do have to pay with my life, but I love paying life. It's fun. Oh, yeah, you want a ramp, huh? Well, check this out. Boom, 1 damage to each of us. They get a plains, they get a forest. They have ramped. They'll be able to play Samut next turn, and I will pay 6. Okay, I'm honest with myself. I know what I like, and what I like to do is 6 damage. It's fun. Here comes Ob Nixilis. Let's deal another damage. Oh, look, a land. Goodbye, a land. Cracking open that Fabled Passage, thinning their deck. Getting it so there's just a few basics left, probably, since they're 3 colors. Time for Samut. They can play it on their turn, too, since she does have Flash. No, Shaper's Sanctuary. They want to punish me for targeting their cards, and they destroyed all my creatures. And a Samut attack. Okay. I guess. Not what I expect, but sure. Let's play Xander's Wake. You want to wipe boards? Cool. I'll kill my creatures, too. So I can get free stuff from Xander's Wake. We got Horde Robber, Slaughter Specialist, and Yanti Fangblade. None of these are great against Samut, but I'll go for the ones that are cheap, like Horde Robber. That is a snow-covered swamp on top. Don't need that. And I will play the Horde Robber. Boop. Behold! A robber! Do you got creatures? Maybe Smooterson? I've got a good blocker! I found it for free. Samut's coming out. She's got Double Strike, Vigilance, Haste. And I've got a blocker. Horde Robber. I got it for free off of this. And now I'm going to sacrifice it to try and find something more interesting. What Samut does not have is Trample. This could be a Samut Voltron deck. I feel like that's a possible build. Nice. A Thieves Guild Enforcer. Some ramp, I'll take it. No damage goes through. I'll just make Treasure. We'll want to play my Ob Nixilis. I do want to play my Ob Nixilis. This has Flash, just like you. Mills on enter the battlefield. I'd love to pay the 6, but I'd also like to not die to Samut, especially if they wipe the board again. They're probably like, why didn't they play the card they got off Xander's Wake? Hello, Minskin Boo. Problem card. Minskin Boo is real scary. They make this Boo token whenever they don't have one, and can put 3+1/+1 counters onto a creature with haste or trample. If Samut gets huge, that's fine. We have the Thieves Guild Enforcer. She chumps blocks just as well because no trample. Are you thinking about sacrificing your Samut? Okay. I was gonna say, that would be wild. Here comes the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Does not have Death Touch, as much as I wish it did. Mills, just a little bit. Ooh, that is a Vorinclex. What is happening with this? Thieves Guild Enforcer steps in front of Samut, and is sacrificed to the Woe Strider. I get the Scry. I like Asylum Visitor. More land. Don't need that. Take 4 off of Boo. Boo-hoo-hoo. Seems like we've got a good system here. Assuming by system, I mean attacking this. It's fine. I like attacking Minskin Boo. I'll actually go ahead and do that right now using Ob Nixilis. I'm going to play Asylum Visitor. And then I'm going to sacrifice it to this Ob Nixilis using Casualty. The power is what determines the size of the fresh, hot Ob Nixilis. And now we're getting even more Xander's Wake value. I got Morbin time for more for more on-death value. And using the token first. I want to make sure. Okay, the token. We make the token with the non-token. Do I want more chump blockers? I don't think I need it. We're going to plus. They either lose 2 life or they discard. And I'll gain 2 life because I have both devils and demons on the battlefield. As the kids say, about to be Morbin time. No kid says this. Don't say this around your children. They will be like, Father, please. You bring great shame to me. I just want to play my Fortnites and my Minecrafts. Ob Nixilis, does it feel bad to be reminded of your losses and failures? Because that's cool. I get it. He lost his spark, and now he's stuck on New Capenna. If they play creatures, they do have haste. Having some extra blockers out certainly doesn't hurt me. I'm also feeling pretty good about a double block on Boo, since I do have enough cards to escape Woe Strider. One, two, three, four. Udopera Thumwar. Yasharn! I can no longer sacrifice creatures. That's fine. I can still just let them die. All nice and normal-like. Nykthos in a 3-color deck is a choice. Just noticed that. Oh, they have 3 devotion. Currently breaking even. Everybody's coming in? Okay! Let Yasharn hit. Get the double block on Boo. I cannot target their creatures, but I can target their face. You know who likes that? Ob Nixilis. Ob Nixilis says, yes, my power grows! Also, I don't know, Yanti Flying Blade. I don't need this. Make a treasure. Gotta keep my life total high. If only Meathook Massacre still gained life. I can't sacrifice the treasure because of Yasharn right now, but this is fine. We're going to minus to make another devil. It's a good chump blocker. Then we're going to plus to gain me some life. Play this Temple of Malice. And since we can't sacrifice things, it's a little bit weaker for me to, like, bring back the Woe Strider. It's not bad, though. It certainly is just fine. If we want to build more into Ob Nixilis, we can play Shadowheart. Also not bad to have a Death Toucher out here. I think we can do both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, only 1, 2, 3, 4 for this. Woe Strider strides and woes. Whoa! And we'll play Shadowheart, who will ping ever so symmetrically. Swing in with Ob Nixilis. Deal a grand 5 damage. Shadowheart's gonna go ping bong! By the way, if you want to get double triggers off Shadowheart in this deck, go into red. Because then, when you deal 1 damage to yourself, or lose life through other things like Pain Lands, it reflects that damage onto your opponent. It's a good way to turn, oops, I dealt 1 damage to me, or paid 1 life, to actually you're losing life. Nice! Henwar Garrison comes in with haste, makes a bunch of little attackers. Yasharn, Samut, Shadowheart, this, and sure, Goat Token. You love Goat Token. You have an Ember Cleave? That would be spicy. No Cleave spotted. Some death triggers happen. I guess I should have swapped these as blockers, because then the Woe Strider would have lived. Acquisitions Expert. Lets me take a peek at their hand. We also have an Unfertile Grasp and a Judith ready. Good cards in hand. Any of them you want to play right now? Don't tell me it's another board wipe. I'm going to forever just think of this opponent as the one with the board wipes. I'm going to pay 2 to draw a card. Do we get Hogger Mauling? We're going to plus on both of these. They are sacrificing. I think they know that there's a chance I can deal lethal. They have 2 cards in hand. These are both rogues. Do I have anybody who's a different type of party member? Any Wizards? No. Darn. Let's get out Judith. And how about Meathook for 0? They don't have enough mana to replace him, but I'm just double checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remover as a blocker. They do get to draw a card here. Untapping their human token. I'll lose some life. Draw a card. Ooh, a command tower. Nice. Oh, I'm 1 short. I should have played this before I played some of those non-creatures. Kessig Flame Breather. Swing in. Bring them down to 9. If any of my creatures die, they'll be losing 2 life. 1 at a time, though. Perfect for Ob Nixilis. So it's time for Samut to come out. We've got 2 different blockers. Zakama Mama, who can gain them a bunch of life, untaps all their lands, can be given haste with Samut. Or just gain some life. Okay. Up to 6. They can also blast my blockers. Plus 7 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 currently. And Zakama does have reach. They can activate 2 more times or flash out Samut. Taking out the Flame Breather, not going for Judith first, does mean time to get pinging. The damage, the damage! Another. We ping. We pong. Valkyr Blood Priest. And we win the game. Because we're actually bigger than Zakama. We also have, like, you know, all of that. Good game, Samut. It's time for our first mirror match. Ob Nixilis versus Ob Nixilis. Captive Kingpins all around. We've got a pretty nice hand here. We've got 3 mana, all of which are dual lands, but 2 of which will be coming in tapped with our current setup. We've got Magda, looking pretty good here. Kolgan's Command, Fable the Mirror Breaker, and my dear friend Prosper. Let's see. They've got a very cute Fibblethip on top of Borborygmos here. Start with Temple of Milady. Get a Blightsteth Pathway. That's great. That's land that's going to come in untapped on turn 2 and let me play Magda. Magda's just a great card. She helps me make treasures, which I can then sacrifice, or use to ramp into things like Ob Nixilis. This actually sets me up to get Ob Nixilis out on turn 3, and I love that for us. Assuming, of course, Magda's alive at the end of this turn. Ooh, Shadowheart, Sharran, Cleric. What's great about this is it's actually good for both of us, because it doesn't matter if I'm getting hit, because they're getting hit too. Magda's trading, and they're like, yeah, I just wanted to block here. Here comes Ob Nixilis, Captive Kingpin. Not doing anything right now, just being a 4/3, but sitting on the battlefield and looking pretty and hoping to not get blasted by removal. That's not removal, that's snakes. Our opponent had no snakes, so they made a snake. Going to deal 2 damage to the Sophiamancer. And have them discard a card. They've got 4 cards currently in hand. Let's see what they drop. Cruelty of Gix. Okay, I'm happy about that. I'll throw down Castle Lochwain. And now they have a little snake. And the snake does deal 1 damage when it hits, which is what Ob Nixilis craves. But they're going to eat him. He's gone. He's been consumed. And they got to choose to surveil. I don't think they surveilled. I didn't see anything go into the graveyard. So the choice was it stayed on top of the deck. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And this is actually a recent addition to this deck. A stupid broken card that shouldn't exist. Xander's Wake. Whenever one of my creatures dies, once per turn, I get another card. It's very silly. I wish it didn't exist. But I'll take it since it is here. Laelia. Do I want to block and maybe find something better? No, not right now. I'll let Laelia come in and swing. They had a Sun-Scorched Desert there. We're going to discard this Dragon Skull Summit. Agadeem's Awakening. I'm going to swing in with our Goblini. Would you like to block? And our creature has died, which makes Xander's Wake very happy. We got Bloodthirsty Aerialist, Malakir Blood Priest, and Malakir Coldblade. Gonna take the Blood Priest here. I want to just throw down Ob Nixilis again. Going for Prosper. Playing Agadeem's Awakening, having it come in tapped. And I'm saving this because this will currently make my opponent lose 1 life, because the only party member I have is a Cleric. Swordfist Crusader hits both of us each turn, and she's got the boots. Laelia versus Laelia. I see that Kolaghan's Command, and I feel like I do want to trade. Even though Prosper's so dang good, Laelia gets out of control. And I've got a Laelia too, so mine's gonna be the better Laelia. Let's get some more When Stuff Dies triggers, this Morbid Opportunist. Ooh, Rampaging Ferocidon. That would be kind of good for both players, which means I probably shouldn't play it right now. I'm gonna go for Laelia. She's a warrior, by the way, so now this would deal 2 damage and gain 2 life. We found a Goldspan Dragon, which, tragically, I cannot play. I'm 1 mana short. We each take 1 damage. We each draw a card. Got a snow-covered swamp. Time for Ob Nixilis, and he's gonna get some boots. Ob in the boots, baby. Hello there, monkey. How I love thee. Must resist. Monkey. I don't think I can. I think I'm too weak to resist the monkey. So I'm going to dash. And I'm going to loan my Morbid Opportunist. And I'm going to swing in with all these guys. This will die and this will go back to hand if it's not killed. Ragavan gets to go through. They're down to 8 life. We get to steal their top card. It was nothing. Get a treasure. And do we want to go for Ob Nixilis now? No, I'm actually feeling... Let's build this up even more. Let's get real frisky. We now also have a wizard. We actually have a full party going on here. And we're going to draw some cards. We get a zombie. This triggers Ob Nixilis. They found a Woestrider, which lets them sacrifice things on demand. Xander's Wake. Let's get Horde Robber. Sure, it's just kind of fodder. It's a nice little robber. Stormfist Crusader triggers Ob Nixilis, brings him up to 6 power. I see they have an Agadeem's Awakening. Currently could bring back Laelia, Ophiamancer, and Shadowheart. You'd have to pick one of the 2 3-drops. And a Blood on the Snow! Oh, everybody dies! Stormfist Crusader comes back, though. Things trigger, things happen. Do we want to keep on Morbin? I mean... I do like to Morb. funny enough, I kind of feel like we should get our party on again. We've got a rogue. This is also a rogue. We've got a warrior. This is a pirate. You're not part of the party. It's like, oh man. Malakir Blood Priest. Gains me 3, drains them for 4. And it's monkey time again. Let's go. Trading with the Stormfist Crusader. This triggers Xander's Wake. And we'll get a Malakir Coldblade. Sure, play this as a land. Now we've got a couple little creatures on the battlefield. This one deals symmetrical damage. This one can attack in. And this is exiling from the graveyard. Dealing a damage and gaining a life. Ob Nixilis likes this. Are they going to give it boots so it can trigger again? Or it looks like it. And Tybalt, who prevents life gain, but only on my side of the battlefield. Hello, you little devil. See if they attack in with the Graveyard Trespasser. They do. Exiling the monkey from my graveyard. Giving us another little life swing here. They can trade with one of these two. Blood Priest it is. Here's Xander's Wake. Acquisitions Expert. Their hand is empty. More Morbs. I'm kind of sick and tired with how many Morbs I've got, actually. Aww, little protected devil. He's so safe. He's so safe. Ob Nixilis, bringing him out. Pinging with the Spirit Spewer. That's a Spike Field Hazard, huh? Well, Spike Field Hazard, eh? I'll do one. Trigger Ob Nixilis again. This way, even if he has haste, will be bigger. We could get Morbin. We could play Black Market Connections, but our life total's a little low for that. Yeah, I think that Morbin Opportunist. A good time. Love a good Morb. Comes into play. We're gonna swing with the Horde Robber at face. Don't think they'll block. They'll take 1. If they do block, they can redirect the damage to any target they'd like. But also we draw a card, which is why I didn't think they would block. I mean, my hand's kind of full right now. It's fine. It's all good. They have enough mana to replay Ob Nixilis and give him haste, but mine is bigger. That is part of why I was trying to get all those triggers last turn. Our Ob Nixilis. Getting real chunky. What's cool about this is he does have trample, which means that 3 damage would go through if we swing into that, even if we don't get any pings first. But I do want to ping. But I want to ping even though it grows it. This is tragic. I know what I want, but I know what I need to do. I need to attack with everything. They take the damage, they go to 0, and we win the game. We also had 1 extra damage here, and even more through our various other spells in hand. GG, fellow Ob Nixilis player. Atali Primal Conqueror, the dino who does Crimo. This is a really, really good card. All you need to do is ramp to it, play it, and hope you steal something great off your opponent's deck, or get something great off your deck. Since you're ramping for your commander, you also can play lots of really strong, powerful Gruul cards in your deck. And you may as well. Let's go ahead and start ramping ourselves. I got to turn to Cold Steel Heart. They also do have Roiling Vortex, but I feel like I don't need that right away, especially not against this deck. They're not really a life gain deck, so preventing the life gain and getting this early damage doesn't feel like it would make that much of a difference. Get ourselves another red source for our friend Chandra, dressed to kill. Lotus Cobra accelerates their mana, gives them 4 to this turn, and it's being used for Toski! When they hit my face with the Lotus Cobra, they'll get to draw a card. Draw a card they do. Now I could build up my battlefield with creatures, or I could build it up with a Planeswalker. If you're wondering, why did I get out the Chandra rather than something like a Theomancer or Judith, the answer is because I want to encourage them to attack Chandra, which does not draw them cards. You have to attack the player and deal damage to the player in order to trigger Toski's ability. Now, I personally think that anything that's like whenever you deal damage to a player, Should also say, whenever you deal combat damage to a planeswalker, or even a battle. Some of them do say battle in the most recent set. But I'd love to see that more universally just spread across things. Nice. Also, Roiling Vortex, when they get to cast these things for free, will deal some damage. Perhaps 10 damage. It'll make them think twice about casting stuff for free. I've got 5 mana here. We could go for Ob Nixilis, actually, to start. Let's do it. Here comes Ob Nixilis. We'll get ourselves 1 red mana. A good ping. I found Eat to Extinction, which I cannot use here. So we'll just pass the turn. Now we have a good blocker, though. Love that for us. Ob Nixilis gets bigger. There's a Lolth for next turn. Lotus Cobra gets them more mana. Castle Garenbrig means that they actually have 7 mana here, but I don't think they have enough red for Atali, since it would have to be 6 green doing that. Mindstone, they could definitely play him next turn if they have a landfall, or they don't even need it. And hello, Elder Gargaroth! When it attacks or blocks, they get good stuff. Beasts, life gain, or card draw. Koski's going for my face because he has no choice. And I'll block because it's free. Get bing-bonged. We're gonna ping-pong. Deal the 1, exile a card. We got a Snow-Covered Swamp. I'll play that. I kind of want to see what they have in hand, but I think it's smarter for me to set up my battlefield for the next turn. So we're going to get out a Theomancer, who will be making us a Death Touch and Snake, and Sheoldred. If I'd like to, I can attack in, and I would be trading with the Elder Gargaroth. I don't think that's necessary. I'd rather wait here, because he's going to get bigger when we deal exactly 1 damage with the Roiling Vortex. Oh look, a Snow-Covered Mountain. Love that for me. Also, they drew a card, so they lose 2 life. And they're playing the Great Henge. It's the greatest henge I've seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Using it for Ghalta, who comes in for only 2. 2? 3. I think actually they had to pay 3 mana for that. Gets a +1/+1 counter, draws them a card. That card draw, though, hurt them as much as they gained. Here's the Beast at Questing. Questing Beast. I might actually want to block the Questing Beast, taking a trade with either Ob Nixilis or with Sheoldred, just to prevent them from taking out this Chandra, who's doing such a good job for me. But also, I don't think I care that much. Nope, it's going to be Gargaroth for a nice little hit. They're trying to decide who do they want to keep in. Questing Beast reflects damage over to Chandra. The only blockers I have for Questing Beast are Ob Nixilis and Sheoldred. I'm willing to give up Sheoldred, even though that life drain is great. Chandra lives, and the pings continue. Ooh, vicious rumors. Let's start with a hit to the face. See what else we get. Shattered Skull Smashing. I could currently cast it for X equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means I could actually deal 12 damage split across creatures. Not enough. We're going to Vicious Rumors, make them discard, get the ping in. Gwenna goes away. What do we have here? Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Looking good. I think I'm going to make you discard again. What else you got in there? Palpak Piper. Swinging in with Ob Nixilis. I think they'll want to block. You gain a life. Do you draw cards? They're drawing cards. Trample damage still goes through. They're down to 9. It's telling me, oh, you can still cast this. I don't want to cast this. We're going to deal 1 damage to them. Gain 1 life. Not gain 1 life. Gain 1 +1/+1 counter. They're down to 8. And they're putting all their mana, I think, into the Atali here. Are you sure? Because if you cast 2 spells for free, you do die from the Roiling Vortex. I want to see it happen, though. I do have to pay attention to the fact I will be losing 3 life on my next turn. Maybe they're doing a Shatterskull Smashing here. They can do it for 7, which is enough to deal 14 damage, which is enough to kill Ob Nixilis and most of Chandra. Shatterskull Smashing. That's what's happening. Something I should have done, by the way, is at the start of their turn, before they could hit this Great Henge, I should have tapped this just so they wouldn't gain any life. I can deny life gain, but a little too late for that. Galta, you coming for face? I wouldn't mind. Galta is going to get blocked by a little tiny snake. Toski will get blocked by the one who makes the snakes. And we'll get a fresh snake next turn. They still did get to draw. They found a land. The land lets them float some mana. They can use that for Gaia's Blessing. Shuffling in some of their best cards. Galta, this and that. No, they're going for the Caryatid instead. This draws them a card. We take a damage. We take a snake. And now it's going to be searching for a card. What do I want? What do I want? Oh, there's so many choices. There's so many choices, and I want all of them. This truly is the impossible choice. I'm gonna go for Graveyard Trespasser. Just because I feel like I haven't had a chance to play this card yet since I put it in the deck. Ping for 1. With Ob Nixilis out, I want to use Ob Nixilis to win. Found a Black Market Connections, but I really want that Graveyard Trespasser, so let's start munching up the graveyard. I'm gonna go for the Gargaroth. Yeah, I'm swinging with the Theomancer. Nice. They get hit for 1. I do not have any red mana up, so I can't prevent any life gain. Hey, Chandra! Want to hang out with your other self? Vivian Monster's Advocate lets them cast creatures off the top of their deck. Lets them really get deep with that Great Henge. Can also use this minus ability to get out creatures onto the battlefield for free. Settle the Wilds that are ramping, and they're going to grab a permanent of cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Yes, 8. What 8 cost permanent do I think they've got? Huff. It's Craterhoof Behemoth. Might be Cityscape Leveler. Might be Cityscape Leveler. Could also be Hoof. They have to attack with Toski. It is not a choice. I'll go ahead and block with Ob Nixilis. And get myself a fine, fine dinosaur. I take 1 damage, down to 4. Must take dinosaur. I think I'll take Twisting Beast, though. Gotta go fast. Ping for 1. Bing bang! Notably has Reach. Notably has Trample. Aw, hi, other Ob Nixilis. We're gonna play Bastion of Remembrance. Judith, the Scourge Diva. These are both going to deal damage when our creatures die. Throw down Chandra. Take out that 1 flying blocker. And I think we should have a big lethal swing here. Let me just hit that spacebar. Yeah, let me just hit that spacebar a couple more times. There we go. In we swing. Exile Nagalta also deals an extra damage, makes our Ob Nixilis a little bit bigger. We've got 3 cards in exile. We're not using any of them. Blocks commence. And so does a turbo lethal swing. GG, Atali, Primal Conqueror, defeated, honestly, by Roiling Vortex. They couldn't cast their commander. GG. It's the Scarab God, either a control deck or a zombies deck. Oftentimes with a lot of reanimation, no matter how they're playing the deck, the Scarab God is a scary god who can always be brought back to hand if it's destroyed. They have the choice to, instead of putting it into the graveyard or into the command zone, they can just let it go back into hand after a turn. So we're going to have to keep an eye on what we're putting in our graveyard, because Scarab God can get awful scary, and hope that they're playing zombies, because that's going to be a better match for us. We can get that in a Zulaport Cutthroat here, but I'd rather play Roiling Vortex. I suspect that they're going to be a lot better equipped to destroy my creatures than they are to deal with enchantments. Roiling Vortex deals 1 damage to my opponent. Now, if we had an Ob Nixilis out, that's cards for me! And also an ever-growing Ob Nixilis. But for now, I'll just take 1 damage. Okay, it's a zombie! Tainted Adversary is a zombie that can make more zombies. And since they didn't choose to make more zombies, that's fine with us. We'll play Rampaging Ferocidon. It stops life gain. It has Menace. It's a 3/3. And whenever they have a creature enter the battlefield, they take 1 damage straight to the face. 2 damage. I'm taking it. Ow, rude. I love the symmetrical burn cards, by the way. They make me feel like I'm doing something both very right and very wrong. Okay, they've countered Ob Nixilis. They don't want me to have a commander. This is fine. I'll just bring him back to the command zone and do things the old-fashioned Rakdos way by hitting face with dinosaurs. I mean, that's more of the Naya way, but I'll take it as Rakdos thing today. They've got 5 mana. They're not playing the Scarab God, instead getting out Liliana Death's Majesty. Her plus makes a 2/2 zombie. Her minus reanimates, and she'll be milling. It looks like they actually put a big reanimator card, Breach the Multiverse, and Liliana into the grave. Looking good. Since the Rampaging Ferocidon does have a little bit of menace, I only need to remove 1 of these blockers to make way for the Ferocidon to hit Liliana. And also, yes, Judith, you get to hit my face too. Kill the Tainted Adversary is a much scarier zombie, and then swing over into Liliana. I know they're only at 16 life, but I have to get rid of this. Nice, another 1 damage. By the way, if they want to cast any spells for free, I don't know if they have anything that does that, but if they do, Roiling Vortex will hit them for a nice 5 damage. They got a zombie. They take another damage. Now I take a damage. This is the way. We've got Lolth. We've got Sir Conrad. I'm going to play Sir Conrad, take the 1 damage. If a creature dies, any creature, that would be doing a little bit of damage to our opponent there. Okay, so it looks like they're going for a counterspell. Rude. They're double blocking. Both zombies will die. We're going to use the 1 damage off of Judith to finish off Liliana Death's Majesty. Don't have to think about it. Don't have to worry about it. Just have to worry about whatever this is, this foretold spell. It could be a counterspell, kill spell, or an extra turn. I think it's probably an extra turn spell. It could also be card draw or Raven form, very unusually. I do have Hive of the Eye Tyrant available. I'm looking at what they would reanimate. There's a Tainted Adversary there. Ferocidon and Sir Conrad here. Or I could just play Ob Nixilis. You gonna counter it? I'd like it if you didn't. Perfect. Pass to their turn. Roiling Vortex deals 1 little damage. Let's see if they want to grab something. Maybe a Ferocidon, a Ferocious Daniel, maybe Sir Conrad. Nice. Rewards them for killing stuff, and it also rewards them for exiling things from graveyard. What did we get off the top? We got Lalia. Nice. I can play this on my turn. Now I get to take a damage. Lucky me. Lalia, Sanguine Brushstroke. Very good. Same with Zulaport Cutthroat here. I'm going to start with Lalia. They have enough mana to reanimate something else. I'm gonna fill up my board. Couple of friends. Disallow. Surprised that they didn't disallow something before that. But I think that's alright. We're gonna just swing in for 6 in the air. They take 1. Exile a Cold Steel Heart. Laelia sees the exile, gets a little bit bigger. We also lose life because they have 1 zombie. Could it be some birds? Birds are okay at blocking, but not great. We take 1. Let's lead with Vicious Rumors. This could be a Sublime Epiphany. So I'm going to start with the least exciting spell I've got. See what they discard. That is a Flood of Tears. Let's see what we get here. We got a Snow-Covered Swamp. Throw that onto the battlefield. Now I'm going to attack in with Ob Nixilis and Laelia. They can grab stuff from the graveyard here. Or a Hero's Downfall on Ob Nixilis. Two Laelia exiles. Would I move her to... Yep, I'm going to move him to the command zone. We're going to do a 1 to face. Would you like to reanimate anything else? Somebody for blocking? Fine choice of blocker. A 4/4 with Death Touch. Since a creature left their graveyard, Sir Conrad's going to bop me again. See what we hit here. Ooh, Stormfist Crusader. It'll hit both of us. Laelia does die, but that's another damage to their face. And I think we actually have a nice lethal lined up here. Since we have more life than they do, we can lie down and start sacrificing. Woe Strider and Zulaport Cutthroat. When our creatures die, our opponent will lose life, and they've only got 2 to give. So let's start with the goat. And then hit them with Judith. And that's going to be 3 damage. Got a potential 4th or 5th here, sacrificing the Zulaport Cutthroat. It's going to be game. GG, the Scarab God. A Jin and Tonic is playing Galia of the Endless Dance. It's Satyrs and aggro, all in the beautiful Gruul colors. I love Galia. She gotta go fast, and she makes other Satyrs go fast, too. If you attack with her and a couple other friends, you get to discard and draw, and it's a little bit chaotic. It's a bit of a gamble, because you actually discard at random. Yes, let it chaos reign. In this hand, I do have a little bit of removal. I have a card that's actually kind of good for both players, Stormfist Crusader. Lets both of us draw cards. And I expect them to be playing very aggressively, so all of the symmetrical damage off of cards like Stormfist Crusader are gonna get kind of spicy. We'll also be giving more fuel to the aggro fire. But I want to feed that fire because I want to play Ob Nixilis in all of his great glory. This Javelineer, if I block it, will trade with the Stormfist Crusader. I'll let it go through for now. Ooh, Kari Zev does go wide, make some extra attackers, and it's quite delicious. I'm going to go ahead and feed the Swarm. Munch, munch, munch. Swing in for 2. Play my Blood Crypt. And Kari Zev, having Menace, makes a monkey. Generally a menace overall. Does a lot of damage each turn, and makes it really easy to get a lot of attackers into play at one time. Hello, Goblin Javelineer. 3 mana. Navishino Branch Rider. This feels like it's gonna have haste. Loads of haste. Galia. Discard City on Fire. Aw. City on Fire is fun. It's random, though. I bet that's not what they would have liked, but they'll take it. We've got our Ob Nixilis ready here. We've got a potential Murderous Rider, Morbid Opportunist. I'm gonna go for Morbid time. The way I see it is I should be sitting here and trying to survive because we currently have a board wipe off 2 more mana that kills all the little creatures on the battlefield. You pay more hasty boys. If any of them die, would you like to give me a potential draw? Joriel turning draw on their turn into a kitty cat. And since they do get that extra draw when they swing in with all the little guys, they discarded Legion Warboss, and they got 2 mysterious extra cards. I'm going to block the Javelineer here and the Ginger Root there. Symmetrical ping. Oh. Meathook Massacre for X equals 2, huh? I'm not even gonna bother attacking in first. 1, 2. That's all we need. That's going to trigger the Morbid Opportunist. We draw a land that comes in tapped. I can play it. They also lose 1 life. Feels good. Alright. I swamp and staying back. We have enough mana for Chandra the turn after. We've got Ob Nixilis ready. We've got Sheoldred for all that pesky card draw. And we can also take a look at their hand with something like Cruelty of Gix. Aww! A human token! Ooh, a couple goblin tokens. Who else is coming out? Looks like you're going wide. Here goes Command! I hate to, like, break the vibe up here, but I think it's the right move. Chandra destroys every creature on the board. They'll lose a life, I'll draw a card. Hand full, head empty. They've got 5 mana, enough for, ooh, some more hasty boys, the Fanatical Firebrand, Galia, that's enough to kill Chandra here. Boop, boop. Goodbye, Chandra! Spawn of Mayhem does symmetrical damage. I'm actually going to lead with the Goldspan Dragon. Swing in, get 4 damage to their face because I like a little bit of aggression too. And then we're going to get down Sheoldred. She's quite good at bodying cards because she's a 4/5. She's got a lot of blocking power. If we draw cards, we're going to gain life. If they draw cards, that are going to lose life. Right now our life totals are pretty even, 12 and 13. I like how it shows the little spectacle trigger here. That's what that little chain was. Spawn of Mayhem saying, ooh, I only cost 3 mana for you to cast me this turn. I can't cast you this turn. I'm tapped out, and I can't cast you with Flash. You don't have Flash. You're a good demon, though. You're very fun. You're very spicy. Brawl's reinforcements. More little tokens going even wider. And Song of Freylies to make it so all these creatures can tap for mana. They'll do that for 2 turns, and then the turn after that, they'll also get a big buff. I feel like you're not attacking in. I'm happy about that. I could take a look at what's in their hand with Cruelty of Gix. I have to be very, 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 very aware of the fact that I will lose 3 life the turn after. There we go. Okay, we gain 2. I'm gonna swing in again with just the Goldspan Dragon. Get myself 2 extra mana. Deal 4 damage, bring them to 8. They're taking their sweet time. Would you like to sacrifice your Fanatical Firebrand? I know, it's a good monkey. Ob Nixilis. Tybalt. Making a little tiny guy. Me realizing I should have played my land first, that's fine. We just cast this instead. Or we could hold up Murderous Rider. Nah, I want to get wild with it. Spawn of Mayhem. We're hurting both players now. If there's a Crater Hoof in that hand, we're dead. And if there isn't, oh, we're gonna have a fun time. Fanatical Firebrand still holding priority here. What a nice monkey. What a nice little monkey. Hello! It's your go! blow you a kiss, eat some popcorn, shrug. Check my notes. I'm gonna check my notes right now. It says Ob Nixilis, May 15th. That's the day I'm recording. It says take out Magmut. I did do that before the recording started. Nice, very good. Ah, looks like we win the game. They roped their way out of the game. GG, Galia. Yarok the Desecrated. He who doubles enter the battlefield in Sultai colors. Yarok is an elemental horror who does a lot of work with a lot of different cards. I'd say a lot of Yarok builds are very, very different from each other because a lot of people put priority on things that are removal and enter the battlefield. Some people really like to ramp. And some folks are just in it for the triggers. So they just try to put in things that trigger other things that trigger other things that trigger other things that trigger other things. Yarok's a good card. We have a 2-drop in hand, which is all I feel I need. A Kessig Flame Breather is enough for me. Here we go, the Flame Breather. Two entire mana. Play something that has 2 or less toughness so I can bop it. Oh, like an elf! A Llanowar elf. Oh yeah, I'll go for that. I'll make you discard, and I'll deal 2 damage to the Llanowar elf. Kessig Flame Breather also gonna follow up and say, ooh, hot, spicy, 1 extra damage. They could protect this. There are some 1 mana spells, which give hexproof or indestructible, and the answer is no. Also, we just learned something very important about our opponent's deck. I hate it because it has Pact of Negation. That's not even an enter the battlefield. That's just a counterspell. Ridiculous. We don't need that in our lives. Now, Risen Reef, however... Alright, I'm back on your side. I do love Risen Reef. But don't let me see you cast in any more of those pesky counterspells. Kessig Flame Breather, I'm swinging in for 1 damage. That causes 1 damage, which means Ob Nixilis triggers. We see a land and it goes bye, because I can't actually play another land this turn. Risen Reef just kind of vibing, hanging. Phyrexian Metamorph. They're getting their own copy of Ob Nixilis. Theirs is an artifact. That's alright, I suppose. Ob Nixilis. Thinking about casting it with casualty. I'm just gonna go for it. Oh, regular. Don't need to sacrifice that Flame Breather. Get ourselves 1 ping to the face. Kingpin. And I'll make a little devil. Swinging in with Ob Nixilis. I don't need to protect this guy. He's already done his job. Could have used the land, though. Put these in the other order. I guess I wouldn't have been able to use it anyway. This is fine. Ooh. Somebody used their pain land. Ob Nixilis loves when people use their pain lands because they lost exactly 1 life. That was to get the Mole Drifter out to find a land. They did find a land. Their Ob Nixilis hits my face. But oh, we've got so much damage lined up here. A delicious, delectable amount of damage. We could go for Burn Down the House or Judith. I'm gonna go Burning Down the House. We're going to make a couple devils. Ping for 1. Get the card in exile. And then swing in with our hasty Devil Pile. We've got 8 mana, or 8 damage up in the air. And a lethal swing on the ground. GG. Yarok the Desecrated. Atraxa Praetor's Voice. I thankfully do have some removal in this hand. And we also have a Tournament Monkey. Though I actually think I'm going to play it on turn 2 with the dash, so I can get out the Voldaren Epicure first. This Atraxa is the Proliferating Atraxa. What does she do? She makes it so usually Planeswalkers get so big that they're impossible to handle. She can be very, very difficult to play against, but having this removal for her the first time we see her is huge. Hey, and you know what? I feel really, really smart right now. You see that Blood Chief's Thirst? That would have killed my monkey. And now my monkey gets to attack unhindered, dashing through the battlefield and returning to my hand. What a good monkey you are, Ragavan. This was my preview card, and it's the best preview card I'll ever get. I love my horrible little monkey son. We can do that again. More Ragavan. Well, I will. And we dash. No removal, no counter spells. We deal damage, and we steal a Signet. I'll happily sacrifice a treasure for that, and use it to cast Spear Spewer. Spear Spewer deals 1 damage symmetrically, and we can do it over and over and over again. What a fun little guy. I love dealing damage to each player. There's a surprising number of cards in this deck that deal damage to both players. I'm actually going to lead with Ob Nixilis. See if he gets countered. They have blue and blue, which makes me feel like, yep, there he goes. He's gone. We'll put him back into the command zone, and monkey time again. I cannot be stopped. I refuse to stop. This is the time for monkeys. Looking good. And I'll do this too. Boop! Got enough mana for Atraxa. And here she comes. But there's nothing on the battlefield to proliferate on either side of the board. I'm going to take advantage of that and play something that I feel like their planeswalkers will have some difficulty with. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Use her to take out Atraxa. That's what you get for not inviting Red to the party. And we're going to keep on having monkey time. Yeah, had Ob Nixilis lived, this would be a different game. But instead, it's just time for Ragavan to shine. GG Atraxa. Dr. Love is playing Aluna, Apex of Wishes. Do I think that this is going to be the combo Aluna that just combos onto tokens and has 1 non-land permanent in the entire deck? Yes, because I'd say it's pretty much always like that when I play against it in the queue. Gonna mulligan even though we had the combo in that last hand because we didn't have enough mana. We've got 4 lands in here. One of them is a good trigger for Ob Nixilis. We've got 2 Blood Artists and a little bit of token destruction here off Kolaghan's command. I will start with a snow-covered swamp. Devastating. Everybody's afraid of swamp. Ooh, Den of the Bugabug. Only comes in untapped if we play it before we have 3 lands. We're going to play it now. Now we've got our lovely little Blood Artist. They're using their clue to find another card. And I feel like they're going to try to mutate onto this crab. So if you're not actually familiar with this combo deck, usually they have, like, Omniscience, and that's the only non-land permanent in their deck. So they ramp, they make some tokens, and then they mutate onto the token. It exiles until it finds that 1 card they want to cheat out, puts it onto the battlefield, and then that's hopefully where they can then cast all their spells for free and win the game. Yeah, it's not that interesting because it always plays out the same. It's a little bit better if you see something spicy happen. The funniest thing I've ever seen in a matchup against one of these decks is actually when we were playing Nicol Bolas Crime and managed to exile their Omni and cast it ourselves so they couldn't have it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I want to go for Ob Nixilis here. See if he gets countered. Got plenty of mana open. Cost 6 for them to mutate, so they could do it next turn. I don't have any good instant speed kill spells here. Drop Sanguine Brushstroke. I'm going to choose Lesser. Was hoping to get one of my 2 mana kill spells, didn't manage to. Valakut Awakening. They're going to put some cards back into their deck. If they have the combo piece in their hand, they can put it to the bottom with that. I love Crucius. This is just one of the best Rakdos cards ever made. It's a shame you can't play it in paper. There's a version of it you could play in paper where you just like reveal off the top until you hit the card, show it, and put it in hand. Not the same, but it would still be really great. Okay, here comes Luna. They mutate. And let's see how deep they have to go to find their combo piece. They have 2 cards remaining in their library, which tells me that Valakut Awakening is how they put their Omni to the bottom of their deck. It was in their hand. This also means that they have to kill me now off of the 6 cards in hand, the 1 card on the battlefield, and the 2 cards in their deck. Okay, let's roll. They bottomed it. They didn't shuffle their deck first. Looks like they'll be losing the game. Oh, that's a shame. Especially because I was about to, like, take 10 damage and eat that. Looked tasty. Real tasty. Good game. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. As always, if you'd like to see me record these live, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian, where I stream almost every single day. Decks like these are really fun to brew, and there's been a lot of great cards in Marth of the Machine and Aftermath to build as commanders. If there's one you haven't seen yet that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments or come by in the channel, and when I put up a poll letting people vote on the next commander, you should vote in it. Because sometimes only like 13 people vote, and it's like, and it looks like Trelasaro wins by a landslide of 2 votes. Yeah, come on, vote! I need your opinions. I need to hear what the people want to see me play. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.